Hello, Leo. Thank you for joining us. This is Pastor Rosemary coming to you from ANSARA Angels Auge. This Angelscope is for both Leo Sun and Leo Moon. These are your December 2014 Christian angel answers from your Leo angel Virtuel, who resides over fixed fire. Leo, you're going to be leaving November behind, but you're going to be anticipating a very bright future. Finally, you're going to be thinking, patience is not my favorite attribute, but it works. Now, Leo, before we get into your transmission from your angel Virtuel, the person who won the lottery this month to get their angel answer read on air is Backup Trans 31. We just want to read the question and answer it because it was a very good question. We really want to thank you because it was an interesting question. Backup Trans 31. Now, the question says, hi, I'm a Sag, S-A-G, Screen Actors go on, Sag, and I guess that would mean that I'm blessed by Philip, or the Apostle Philip, whatever you call him in your training video. I'm a Catholic, a Roman Catholic, and in our tradition, this Apostle's feast day is in May, on the 3rd of the month. Now our answer, we looked this up to be sure, because we've been studying Rosicrucianism for a very long time. Our informal education brought up Roman Catholic, but our formal education is in Rosicrucianism. And there, that's like Eastern Orthodox, where this Apostle Philip is celebrated on November 14th. But you're correct in that the Roman Catholics celebrated on the 3rd of May, I believe, and the Anglicans and the Lutherans celebrated on the 1st of May, like May Day. So that's the answer, and yes, you are correct. We do use that system. Christian Kabbalah that we studied has to do with the Rosicrucian system that we studied. You know, different disciplines are going to have different dates for these kind of things. Okay. So thank you for sending that in. That was a really good question. We enjoyed that. Backup Trans 31. Okay. Now continuing with Virtuel's transmission. Leo, you're half human, half lion nature, can give you both the strength as well as the compassion to see the lion's fixed fire nature well maintained this month of December. Leo should take meaningful note of the sun shining its dim light in the northern hemisphere on the sign of the Apostle Philip, known as Sagittarius the Archer, taking an exact measure of the high trajectory of the Chiron moon or cold moon on the 6th of December. It's going to happen at 12:27 UTC or Coordinated Universal Time. It's like London, the time in London. Now, in this month of December, this is it's kind of an overall mood, but it's going to affect people in the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere differently, and your angel Virtuel gets into that here. The sun will be oppositely low in the sky in midwinter, bringing what is known as the Achilles moon, or the long night moon, so beloved in the ancient legends, where Achilles is known to have decapitated Apollo to rescue Helen of Troy, the Selene moon. Now that's just in the northern hemisphere. Now, if you reside in the southern hemisphere, continuing with Virtuel's transmission, Leo, the solar and lunar aspects, the lunar behavior of your chart will be reversed, and therefore much envious enmity over your confident personality will come your way in these signs, undampened by the cold wetness of the moon, however brought to good outcome if you stay the course of assurance that righteousness affords the lion at the peaking of the sun in the lower regions. So Leo's going to sort of, because you're ruled by the sun, and the moon's your opposite, you know, sun and moon, you're going to do well if you reside in the southern hemisphere. You know, when it comes to ego and ego gratification and people, but there's going to be envy, so be aware of the envy. Might get a little dangerous. If you're in the northern hemisphere, not so bad. It'd be the opposite. You're not really in much danger in the northern hemisphere because the sun is low and the moon is high. Well, depending on where your moon is. But anyway, it's still, the moon dampens some of that envy and dampens some of that ego and dampens some of that, you know, some of the confidence if you're in the northern hemisphere right now. This isn't always, it's just right now in December. So just be aware that if you're in the southern hemisphere, you need to just, you know, walk lightly and carry a big stick, as they say. Now, this, continue with virtual transmission. This is where Christian, the angel of the Lord wanted me to interject a few things into the transmission. This is from the angel of the Lord. This is where Christian astrocartography comes in handy to understand both your behavior and the behavior of those you love. We are experts in the science of Christian astrocartography, Leo, so stay tuned. Leo, your mind and thought patterns are being ripened by divine providence and Jesus Christ, who is the great alchemist of the universe, to the planetary influences of your chart this month. So, but this is saying that, who is Jesus Christ anyway? Besides the pineal gland, the unicorn, the white unicorn with the unicorn's horn, it's the pineal gland. We all have it within us. And he's a great universal king. Why? He's a great universal alchemist. He's the alchemist. A part of you is tempering the rest of you and bringing you through experiment to proper outcome. Now, lions in the northern hemisphere will find themselves in the alchemical stage of, this is important, the bain-marie, which is a soothing bath, meant to derive all the mercury of your spirit, your best traits, to be put aside for use when it becomes necessary for the edification of others who will need your gifts of courageous light. This is the process of your body of light becoming even more set into coagula. Leo persons residing in the southern hemisphere will undergo the alchemical substage of calcination. We talked about that a little bit earlier, the envy of the ego. The ego, calcination is the ego. It's all the ego, but in the calcination, your ego just gets fried. And in the bain-marie and dissolution, it's more of a wet bath, a warm wet bath. So Leo persons residing in the southern hemisphere will undergo the alchemical substage of calcination held within the sublime main stage of dissolution, where this great alchemist called the Lord Jesus Christ will submit your ego, and will to his in a way that gives you more the courage of certainty than hope. To give you more courage of certainty rather than hope. So your ego will be further dissolved in favor of your body of light, and here a struggle always takes place. And your ego is more in your compassion, that you want to be compassionate. Your ego is not in you're so great. You're not. You don't think you're so great, Leo. And you don't, at least, especially female Leos, don't think you're so great. And you're not self-absorbed. But you do think you're supposed to always be compassionate, and that's your ego. That you think you're supposed to be compassionate at your own detriment and to the detriment of others. You think, oh, I hurt that person. No, you didn't. They wouldn't have acted in a way that felt assaulting if they didn't want to fight with you and didn't want you to fight back. They're just trying to get your goat. Just, or try to get your line to swipe them so they can, say that you did something wrong and have a reason to attack you more. Just remain calm and understand that right now everything's about money. But more than that, it's about perception. And you need to understand that other people need to understand just exactly how valuable you are. Okay, now going on from here with the transmission. Your ego will be further dissolved in favor of your body of light, and here a struggle always takes place. But you're used to that, Leo. You're used to it. Use the intelligence of the Apostle Philip to bring gentleness to your mind and your life, Leo. Meditate upon John chapter 14, verse 8. Lord, show us the Father, and that will be enough for us. So they want to see the gold. You know, they want to see the gold, but, you know, now, you know, they can make gold now, so, sure. Meditate, again, on chapter 14, verse 8 in John. Lord, show us the Father, and that will be enough for us. Why is Virchiel trying to drive this home? Virchiel says the Father is God, consciousness, associated with water. So, potable gold. But that's just, you know, colloidal gold is not the same as the golden tier, which we're experts at making. And you know that, because we can make it with or without magnesium being high in order to deal with your digestion. You know that we can make the golden tier. And you know we make the best. Now, continuing. Philip means lover of horses. Horses are associated with water and also with the Horse Head Nebula in the constellation of Orion, where the Messiah is meant to come through into our dimension to elevate us. Don't forget to recognize your fellow fire sign buddies of Sagittarius the Archer, whose a birthday boy or girl from November 22nd through December 22nd. And don't forget to give birthday greetings and gifts to your Archer friends and family, Leo. The goddess Sekhmet takes over from the god Wadjet this month, with her warlike influence being felt through the 26th of the month in the ancient Egyptian astrological system, which was the first Christian system. Because the monotheistic system of Zoroaster, you could say it was the first Christian system. You could say that. But the solar aspects are different from the Christian aspects. The solar aspects are the front of the mind, the conscious mind, as opposed to the lunar aspects of Koph in the back of the head, where, you know, Christ is the pineal. And that's something quite different. It's quite a different consciousness, the Christ consciousness. And that kind of started in Egypt. In the monotheistic Zoroaster, Virchow saying that that's the sun, that's when people became self-conscious, self-aware. They weren't before that. That's what it is. Now, Christ consciousness doesn't take you back into Koph, where you're not aware at all. It brings you into a higher aspect that really, there's, at the moment, there's not really a word for it, except Holy Spirit, but it's not even the same. Well, quite no, that's more of a path of Teth. But the Christ consciousness, they say it's in the heart, but then it resides, the seat of the soul is in the pineal. And that's what began in Egypt. That's what they're trying to say. That's what started in Egypt. Oh, that's when the pineal was added. Okay. Continuing with Virchiel's transmission. Your ruling planet of the sun radiates a warm heart, obviously felt more keenly in the southern hemisphere this month. The usual leonine compassion will be seasonally cooled, allowing the modern warfare techniques of code writing abilities, plus pure dominant king of the mountain victories. Hot temperamental anger no longer wins war, luckily. For war is not the same as it once was, Leo. The sign of Cancer, the crab, will be elevated in your life this month, Leo, if you live in the northern hemisphere, due to the moon riding high on the horizon in December. For lions living in the southern hemisphere, your Leo the Lion brothers and sisters will be peaking, although attempting to shine their solar disk on Sagittarius, for obvious seasonal reasons. Leos who reside in the northern hemisphere will find that your Leo the Lion friends and romantic interests will be tucked away safely under the horizon, where the sun god awaits his quick rebirth after a 3-day sojourn in the depth of the Tuat region. See, this is the ancient Egyptian system, the Tuat region, and all the heavens and the Tuat region. That's the beginning of delineating different aspects of limbo and purgatory and all these things. This is the beginning of it. These Leo kings under the mountain must not be underestimated to their soon-to-quicken solar aspects, regaining influence as the sun once more climbs in ascendancy up into the cold skies above the horizon. Under the earth, this is important, they have found various types of radioactive stone, and the very ones used by the Lord Jesus Christ to create the universe, casting down matter into the creation of the third-dimensional realm. There was a stone, a radioactive stone, that was thrown down by Jesus Christ to create all the worlds, and as it went down through the various dimensions, it created worlds. But it got smaller and smaller and smaller until it hit the earth as an atom. No matter what hemisphere you live in, Leo, enjoy the Christmas festivities. And again, don't forget to put a wreath on your door, and be sure to carry a properly chopped down Christmas tree through the door to be dressed and bear gifts for you and those you love, if you want fertility and prosperity to bring the lion a cornucopia of wealth and fertility. So these regeneration rituals are important if you want money, if you want children, if you want home property, if you want your gardens and your trees to flourish, you have to do this ritual. But, you do it as a Christian ritual, and you bring in the white unicorn for the salvation of your soul. This December, we find Scorpio bearing his seed, bringing to fruition the 23rd rune stone seed Dagaz within the house of Sagittarius. The rune of Dagaz brings the fusion of polar opposites for Leo in December. Now we're going to get into Leo love matters and Leo money matters and Leo health matters very uniquely in particular to you in a moment, so stay with us. But just to drive this home, virtue, I want to say this mixing of the twin pillars forms the morning dawn, or conversely, the twilight half-lidded eye of evening. This is a gateway for the fire of a new mind and a gatekeeper who guards his gate with Odin's one eye focusing upon Rune's once spied when crucified upon the Yggdrasil tree, the number 23 being a genetic mixing point in all scientific disciplines. Those closest to Leo will be the ones to keep Odin's amorous eye upon, not a stranger this month. Again, it's not a stranger you have to be worried about, it's the ones closest to you. Who's closest to you? Your own ego. Okay. Now, Leo love matters fall into the stormy waters of initiation with the birth of the 21st rune stone seed Laguz, causing Leo to become very emotional and emotionally creative, however. It's a good point in December. Allow this expansion of your emotionality, Leo, and have the courage to engage your heart again, even if only for friendship, Leo. Avoid blocking your emotions, thereby causing a toxic inner ocean by by disdaining your usual pride in favor of negotiation, adding the icing on the cake with the generous warmth and understanding you are so well known for. This approach will serve you well this holiday Christmas season, Leo. Leo, money matters. Express the third runestone seed of Thurisaz, which is the voiceless giant, or Norse god Thor, who wields a heavy, albeit effective, hammer to protect self and those you keep close. Purposeful and assertive maneuvers work well for Leo in December, but too much egoism or unruly anger will be injurious to yourself and everyone else around you. So be very careful of this Christmas holiday season. Think about consequences before acting this month if you want to get ahead financially. Channel your aggression into positive outlets rather than wasting time on unproductive enterprises simply because you love a challenge. Wondering which avenue is best for you to follow is not necessary in December. Take the easy road and stand behind what you choose because you have chosen well. You have. Leo, health matters. Capitulate to the music of the fourth runestone seed of ANSARA, who is a seer god. Leo will do well to strengthen your God-given creative wisdom, spiritual prowess, and verbal reasoning skills in December as you tend to the ultimate health of yourself and those you love most. The Lion will find that the entire month of December is full of intrigue, a bit of betrayal, tempered with a great deal of honesty, providing Leo luck and opportunity if you continue to stand behind your word. You do that well, Leo. You stand behind your word almost to your detriment. But continue to do that because right now, that's your best quality. It'll be best to stand behind your word. It's best for you and those you love the most. Now, the road ahead is treacherous. So show a little fang and sharpen your claws and polish your superior verbal and mental dexterity, Leo. More of that. Enjoy yourself this Christmas. After all, it's your best season. You love Christmas. And enjoy the food that makes you feel strong and well this month for your health, vitality, vim, and vigor. Be wise, be well, be all you are meant to be, Leo. Your divine tone of I will chisels everything to your will in December. Thank you for joining us, Leo, and join us again next month. Just water, but take care. Bye-bye.